It's an everyday occurrence in Seattle and other large cities in the state. People using marijuana openly on the street.
It's actually technically illegal for you to consume that anywhere but in your own home.
Vicki Christopherson of the Washington Cannabis Association is well aware that I-502, the recreational pot bill voters approved in 2012, prohibits using marijuana in view of the general public.
We don't clown around with our weed.
Not everyone got that message from the vote on 502, so the association is working to bring this debate inside.
How do we find a place or an opportunity for people to consume the product without threat of being in trouble for that?
The answer, Christopherson says, could be allowing cities to decide if they want marijuana lounges, where people who've bought pot legally could use it somewhere other than at home.
It would have to be tightly controlled, it would have to be for 21 and over, and it would have to have all those safeguards in place. But then, you'd get people out of kind of walking around the city going, where do I do this?
The association says clean air laws would probably mean no smoking pot in a lounge.
There's all sorts of issues around smoking, and that's something we're probably not going to tackle.
But the association says allowing people to use vaporizers or to eat edibles in a lounge-type setting might be an answer.
We are educating people as to the safe and legal way to use this product. That goes hand in hand with creating a safe and legal way for people to consume it.
Pot lounges would not work at all, says Pat Slack.
It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Slack is the commander of the Snohomish County Regional Drug and Gang Task Force, lobbying in Olympia on prescription drug abuse and other issues.
So we started a program.
Slack says the state Liquor and Cannabis Board, as well as local law enforcement, would have their hands full trying to deal with pot lounges.
Who's going to regulate? Who's going to go in there and see if they're doing it this way or that way? It just seems that it's fraught with problems from the get-go.
Slack says creating marijuana lounges is simply a way to bring more profits into a state industry that sold more than $1 billion worth of pot over the past 2 years.
You're all set.
What is the bottom line behind it? Is it so people have a place to go, or is it I can make money? They want to make money, and they don't care about the damage that it's doing.
Slack says since the passage of 502, which he opposed, he's seeing more and more pot use from kids and teens, and making the drug easier to use sends the wrong message.
It's a problem in the high schools, in the colleges. It's a problem in the workplace. So when do we stop creating problems and start solving problems?
People are coming to the city to enjoy cannabis.
Daryl King is the owner of the Bacon Mansion B&B, noted on the Cush Tourism website as a pot-friendly location.
Just right down here.
He allows pot use on his patio, not in his rooms, just as he's allowed people to smoke tobacco cigarettes outside.
I don't see it as any different than a cigarette or a glass of wine, just because it's legal.
But there is some haziness as to where we can use pot. A niche in our state law allows hotels or lodging areas to designate 25% of their rooms as smoking. And some hotels are now asking if that covers marijuana smoking as well. King says if Seattle can have legal hookah lounges, pot lounges could be legal too.
I would think that would be the same thing. I would say it would be a pretty easy leap in the law to allow it.
But there is nothing easy about the proposal for marijuana lounges as the legislature starts its 2017 session. And some in the law enforcement community want to keep it that way.
Our members aren't saying there's one hard and fast solution to this. What we're saying to the legislature is let's work together to try to come up with what works best.
Anything like this should go back to the public. It shouldn't be at the legislature. The public should vote on it.